Full-time, full-time. You're listening to Full-Time Daughter. It's a full-time job at this point.
Talk your shit. Just go. Get into it.
Start this episode talking my shit.
Just do it.
I need to know if there's any curly-haired podcaster that exists out there that wears headphones in their episodes.
Curly-haired people out there, how do you wear your headphones?
How? Like, somebody please give me tips on how to not make this look like earmuffs that someone puts on it. Like, First, I look like an elf, or your hair is tucked behind the ears and it's only just the headphones. That's not serving. Then I put, you know how the girlies make it look cute and they're like, no, you have to have some hair to add volume.
Yeah.
No, I tried that and then I looked like
She tried.
I literally looked like an animal. Like, I looked like a lion, but not like the good, like, voluminous hair type lion. Like, ooh, no, like, that's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have to fix it. I'm annoyed. Like, do I tuck it?
Do I tuck it?
Like, I don't know. One ear out, one in. Like, I don't know what to do.
It can be tamed. It literally wants to have volume.
After ranting about the hair.
Welcome back to Full-Time Daughter.
Welcome back to Full-Time Daughter.
I'm Isa.
And I'm Cailyn.
Another week.
Another episode.
It's May. It's May.
It is May.
New month.
What's that saying where it's like April...
Showers bring May flowers. Yes. So
I'm
cute.
gonna go into this month with that mentality. We said April was very like emotionally taxing,
if you saw our April faves, we did discuss that.
Emotionally charged.
Mm-hmm. It was very heavy, and May feels very light. I think that we're in this, like, I know we're always talking about our eras, but like for real, like this feels different because we're both sort of putting in the work. It just feels different this time around.
It does, yeah.
Really prioritizing our wellness. If you guys have been listening to the recent episodes this season, you guys know that we've both kind of been going through changes, and a lot of things have, surfaced, and we just want to improve ourselves. And one of the things that we've been discussing in recent weeks was...
I thought you were going to bring up really quick.
What?
I thought you were going to say how we self-imposed a no men may.
Oh, let's discuss. Let's discuss.
Like,
no.
Yeah, we did. We did do that.
Fully. Introducing no men may. Because, period. There should be a no man may.
Let's extend that all year round.
We are completely decentering men from our lives. And also just, you know how like people cut food out during Lent and stuff? That is what we're doing.
Essentially what we're doing.
In May. Because we have so many things coming up in our lives. And we, like, as we've said, especially in the last episode, we really pushed for that like summer like goodness and just like summer fun and feeling comfortable in ourselves and just feeling good. And in order to do that, we really do have to get our lives in order and like really put in the work, improve ourselves mentally, physically, emotionally.
And like we are kind of doing that already.
No, we are.
And I need to bring up the fact that yes, we're putting ourselves in this position where we want to feel good about ourselves and confident. But I just want to say that wait,
this is a big moment.
Wait, but are you thinking like what I'm thinking?
The girl, yes. That this is like huge.
Are you? Are you thinking the same thing?
Like Isa and Cailyn of Full-Time Daughter season 1 would never believe us.
No, and like we have receipts. The good thing is that each episode we're physically and
it's so
everything
cute.
Like recording ourselves.
It's like, literally like a time capsule. I'm so excited to go back and listen to us like as babies, and we were like, wow,
wow. Remember when we said that we would never go to the gym?
Guess what?
We did say that.
Like, guys, look at us. We are hitting the gym fully.
That's crazy because we were so scared of stepping foot into a gym.
No, like terrified. Like we literally talked about how much it just induced our anxiety.
It really did.
Like that was the worst place imaginable. Like we would rather go to, I don't
Anywhere
even, the
else.
trenches, then
like literally
go
draft
to-
me into war,
then go to the gym.
then go to the gym.
I hated it.
So
the thought
much.
of people sweating around me, the thought of being on those machines, the thought of
Yes.
people staring at me,
And
it
it's
felt
just
horrible.
like a lot of male energy in gyms. That was just like the scariest thing we possibly could have done.
Yeah.
And randomly this week we decided to just hit the gym. We were like, and if
Let's
we just walk
fucking
into
do
a
it.
gym and everybody starts somewhere, like we're not gonna go into this with like crazy high expectations of like we need to be hitting every machine.
Yeah, no.
We need to be running marathons on the treadmill. Like that's not what we're going
Yeah,
in
no.
here for.
Yeah,
we're
no.
doing it to feel good about ourselves.
Yeah.
And to just like feel good about the fact that like we did something and we knew that we could overcome like one of our greatest fears.
No, we conquered that shit.
And we did.
We literally did that.
And we did. And I just wanted to bring that up because sometimes you'll say something and then you don't catch yourself like ever wanting to like prove yourself wrong. Like you'll just say and you're like, yeah, I'm never gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something that I think we were always like, the gym just like isn't for us.
Yeah, it was so intimidating.
And we're just not gym baddies and that's never gonna be us. So
Yeah.
count us out of it.
Yeah.
Unless someone drags us in there, like we're not going.
Mm-hmm.
And the
look at
fact
us.
that we did it,
Yeah.
we're gonna stay consistent. Like we're
Yeah.
holding ourselves to this.
Yes.
And now we're in like our wellness, fitness,
No,
body era.
it's so fun, and it's I just
I'm like so proud of us.
I'm so proud. I'm
Yeah.
so proud of us. And I remember the second I walked out of the gym, I was like, oh my God, I just did
You
that.
did
Like,
that.
that was crazy that I just did that.
Yeah.
And what I can say was it wasn't as intimidating as I thought. I did have some moments of like, oh,
Right.
there's people staring, or like, oh, this is weird. Like, there's a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I didn't care that I looked stupid. Like, I literally had to like perfect my form like 14
No,
times because
that's how it feels.
my body just doesn't understand how to like get into the positions where it's like how to correctly lift the
Right.
weights so that you don't injure yourself.
But like we've never done that before, so
And I was so like, I was okay with the fact that I was being like awkward about it. Like no one was judging me. No one was coming up to me. I was like, okay.
you're in your own world.
You're in your own world. There's music,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And I was like, okay, this is great. I'm going to go again. And immediately after, you just feel so much better about yourself.
You feel so
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I just did that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I know some people might be like, it's literally just the gym.
I literally feel like those like
How it
boxers
feels.
that come out and they like walk into the ring. Like
I
that was me, like with
know.
the robe on. Like I was like, I
like-
feel amazing. Cue my fucking music right now because I felt so cool.
The first time was definitely very like intimidating.
Yeah.
I walked in and I was like, this
Nerve-wracking.
is so scary because there's men
Yeah.
everywhere.
I don't
And
know
I was
how to
like,
use the
I'm gonna
machines.
walk out. Yeah, I was like, I don't know how to use those machines. Like I'm walking out. And then I
Cut
was
off
like,
this girl.
relax.
Mhm.
Like somebody will teach me. It's gonna be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to bring that up because when you say you're gonna do something, follow through with it.
Yeah.
But then you're also gonna see how much like I don't know, like confidence you feel in yourself and the
Yeah.
fact that you're able to do something and overcome something that you were so afraid of.
If you were scared of something in the past, it doesn't mean that you'll be scared of it forever.
So
You can always
true.
conquer your fears. And I think that just, guys, I wish if you guys have been listening since the beginning, you know that this is something that we have really like, it has just been
Yeah.
something that we cannot
like crippling
achieve.
anxiety over.
Crippling anxiety. It's like genuine fear. And the fact that we have conquered it and now we're doing it consistently
I
and we're going to continue to do
know.
it because why? We're having a super sexy summer. It's happening. It's already in the books.
Like you already know.
It's just a very proud moment for
Mhm.
us too. And
Yeah.
I love that. You know, I think that in order to be okay, I know it's so silly, so many people talk about it.
I know.
In order to be okay on the outside, you have to be like okay on the inside. You
Right.
really, someone told me this recently, your like mind, body, and soul have to be all one.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds really crazy, but like when you think about it, it's true, you know?
Yeah.
If one thing is out of balance, it's gonna knock the whole thing over, you
sure.
know what I mean? So I think that this month and just in recent weeks, we've really been talking about our emotions
Yeah.
more than anything
Big
else.
theme. The theme of the month is
Emotions.
emotional well-being.
And emotional availability, because that's something that I think that
It's
not
a
a lot
really
of
big
people,
topic.
it's a big topic. It's very heavy, and I don't think a lot of people like to talk about it because it's just vulnerable, you know? It makes you feel open, and like I think about myself just like in a little corner and all
Yeah.
eyes are on me, and I'm like, okay, now I have to talk about myself and I have to
Yeah.
talk about how I feel.
like so much of you is on display when
Right.
you're emotionally
Yeah, and it's just
available or claim to be
Yeah.
emotionally available.
I will say I did claim that I was emotionally available. I really,
Put
I like
yourselves-
crashed out over it. I was like, me
Yeah.
not being emotionally available? Oh, And then I look up signs of emotional unavailability, and the first thing is defensiveness. And I was like, oh.
You're like, actually, perhaps I am. But
Perhaps
you know,
I'm
the ability
unavailable.
to recognize that.
It's called self-awareness, hun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The ability to be self-aware and then in retrospect look back and be like, maybe I do exhibit some signs that show that I am that. And that's fine. But we're considering that. We're putting all of this information into
To put in the work.
into use and like doing well with that before we involve someone else in the drama of
The no man may.
our emotions.
hence the no man may. Some people, it's really easy for them. I think I'm speaking as someone who, I understand why someone might be a little bit like scared of it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fear that might come out of it, whether it's you're scared of how the other person will take it. You know, some people are really cold, or they're just like, whatever. Like,
Yeah, you're just afraid to be either like rejected or just like disappointed, because if you don't get the outcome that you want, that can also take a toll on you, and you're like, okay, I don't deserve good things.
I think in order to be emotionally available, you have to be ready to be vulnerable, and that sounds like pre-K type stuff, but I think that a lot of us don't really like being put in that position. You know, it's like wearing your heart on your sleeve almost, and I think we're sort of used to this like wall we just put up. I don't know for what reason we've just learned to do that.
People like to look cool, and if they're not putting everything out there, they like this like elusive, mysterious vibe where it's like not everyone gets to see these sides of me, or I'm just gonna seem like closed off and dark and a little like broody mysterious, and like no one's ever gonna know.
That's interesting. I thought most people did it as a way to like protect themselves. They protect themselves, and they carry on that way. I don't know why, but
I think for sure it is like a defense mechanism where you don't want people to get too close because you're protecting yourself and you don't want to lay all your cards on the table. But I don't know. I just also think like some of it,
like you're too cool to feel.
Yeah, like you're too cool to, and it's like we all feel things, and I feel like you should just talk about it, like be present and say how you feel, because the worst that can happen is that the person doesn't like pick up on what you're trying to put down, and they just don't vibe with you well, and then it's like, all right.
I think about a lot of the people that I meet, and I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I would be able to open up to them or anything like that, you know? And I don't know if that happens to you sometimes, where it's just like you kind of like scope it out. Does that happen?
For sure. Like, no, because not everyone that you meet you're gonna immediately click with and be like, I'm gonna tell you my whole life story,
right? And there's some people that you're just like, oh, I can tell you everything, and I'm like, is it normal that you can be emotionally available to some people, and then when you meet others you're kind of like this completely different version of yourself? And is that like a red flag?
I don't think so, because I think you kind of pick up on people's energy. You know, like sometimes you just, there's a click immediately with someone and you feel like your energy is, there's like something inexplainable that happens when you meet someone that like you kind of understand, and you feel like you can tell them because you trust them. There's
this understanding between the two of you,
which is like what happened with us, where it was just like, so I didn't know you, but like I still felt like you weren't gonna judge me for like saying something weird or kind of like random. That's why
I find myself in that space of like, I've been told I was emotionally unavailable, and I can see myself in some,
but in a romantic context,
yes, but also no. I have been reflecting, and I'm like, I guess I can see myself in friendships and relationships where I'm like, wait, maybe for this person I'm a little emotionally unavailable, but then it's so, because it kind of just, it trips me out, because I'm like, but for, you know, these people, I'm like, we have such a good relationship and I feel like we're so open, so why is it different? Am I doing something wrong? Like, what's the reason for that? Is our bond just stronger? That's why I'm saying, like, is it a red flag? Is it a green flag? Like,
I think it's comfortability.
Like, sometimes you feel, when I'm still figuring out, you know,
comfortable with certain people, but sometimes you just don't feel secure or safe enough to,
that
like,
is true,
dump so much of yourself onto someone else, because you're like,
that is true, because I get uncomfortable sometimes talking to people, and I feel like I'm oversharing. Like, I literally get like, oh, I told you too much, versus like my best friends, or I have like my sister, that I literally would say anything. And it doesn't feel like I'm oversharing. It just feels like this is how we talk. This is normal.
It's weird too, because sometimes you're not even comfortable with a person. Like, you're just filling in the awkwardness with talking. So the talking starts to become like excessive.
Like you need to fill the space.
And you're filling the space with oversharing. Like essentially like you're just sharing family stuff that you're like, this person knows nothing.
This is weird. Like we're not in this. It's very weird. This is not the place where we're at right now in our relationship, where I should be telling you about like my family trauma.
Like
you know, like why am I oversharing
on them? And you're like, this is a first date. Like I don't think you care about
this
like,
is a first date.
Like you don't know my sister's name. Like you don't know. Like you don't know any of this. So like, I'm doing too much. But it's weird because I'm like, where is that line?
Here's the thing. I think it's different with platonic and romantic relationships, and you'd be like, but why? They're kind of like the same. They're still a relationship. I think when it comes to romance, you have to tread carefully because like I think from speaking from experience, tread carefully with romance.
Any romantic sense.
Yes.
Like,
tread very carefully.
Really
I'm talking
carefully.
Like if you're in slow-mo, dude.
Literally.
Tread carefully. But I think it's just because I hate to say like in the context, I feel like I'm making a meme right now, but like it's like in the context of the relationship. I think that for me, friendship, most of my friends are girls, and there's a certain understanding, like there what really you were saying. There's a certain understanding. Like you can become friends with a girl in a bathroom. You know what I mean? You can become friends with a girl in an Uber. You can become friends with a girl overnight.
Yeah,
and it's great.
Sure.
It's this unspoken thing. It's womanhood. It just happens, right? You bond over one thing and it's like beautiful. When you go into a date, you're kind of thinking about it. And for anyone who says that you're not, you're lying. But I think that you're going and you're like, can I date this person?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, is this a kind of person that I would see myself, you know, going out with? Short term, long term, it doesn't matter. You're still like sort of vetting them, you know? You can be spending so much time talking about yourself. And you know what else you can be talking about? What do you want from this? Or like, what's like your goal? What led you to that?
But no, then, it's like you're filling this space with like random story times from like,
don't talk I wouldn't talk too much about your family, and I wouldn't talk too much about your friends, especially on the first date.
I know.
Talk about yourself.
I have messed up myself.
No,
in
me
this
too.
regard. Like, I know that
too.
we're saying this now, but I very much have only spoken about my family just because I'm like, this ain't about me. You know, like sometimes I feel like it is about you, but like I feel like this person actually doesn't care, which is like
about you.
Yes, like
they're on a date with you.
I know.
Cailyn, that's a crazy statement to say right now. That's literally crazy. Like that literally took me back. That literally took me back.
Actually is gonna tell me to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like I'm on a date with you, but like I don't care about you.
But like
I'm on this date that I got ready for, and because I have no interest in you.
We're doing better. I know that that has happened in the past where I've definitely like gone on.
I totally get you, and I think it's okay because I think sometimes like if we ever feel awkward or we hate like the silence, sometimes we're just gonna fill it, right?
I know,
and that's when we tend to overshare. I am a fan of talking about yourself and talking about like scenarios, like you know, I think that's fun.
Situations that you've been in, you know?
Situations. Tell me about your travels.
The thing with me is that like I'll say something about myself, but then I'm like, am I doing too much where I'm like overloading on this person? Like I'm saying too much of myself and I'm not giving them enough space to tell me about themselves, even though I feel like I ask questions in return.
Exactly, that's what you have to do. You have to talk about yourself, and then you throw it back at him.
Do the same. You throw it right back.
Throw it right back. Be like, what about you? Or like if you're like, oh, I went traveling and blah 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 blah, I loved it so much, and then you could be like, oh, have you ever traveled somewhere? And then you could be like, blah blah blah. Like, did you like it? So like
learning about them,
right? Like while they're talking, that's when you ask them the questions, right?
Exactly.
But always talk about yourself. Always.
I know.
But have like a healthy balance between asking the questions and talking about yourself.
Yeah.
But if they're not returning, like if they're not asking questions, I've been on the receiving end where no one asks me questions, and that's when I'm like, all I do to fill the silence is ask questions.
You're talking to a wall.
And it's like, I'm like, oh my God, like, do you like going there? And they're like, yeah, it's cool.
No, I think that's actually one of like my biggest things that I see as a red flag is if that person's like not asking enough questions.
Yeah.
Because it just seems like you're totally uninterested. Like you have no interest in learning anything about me. I still think you can be emotionally available.
Yeah.
Without feeling totally comfortable yet with someone.
Yeah.
Because if you're at least clear and upfront about your intentions at the beginning.
Yeah, and how you're feeling
and how
about
you're feeling.
you are being available.
That is enough. That's like you're being real
that is
as
enough.
you are.
I think it's also very normal to take things slow and to, baby steps.
Actually normalize that.
Let's slow down.
We're
always like so accelerated trying to get that gratification.
That is what it is. The instant gratification that so many people seek is just that rush.
Yeah.
Like, I think when people start talking to someone new, they feel all these, like, the initial first feelings of, like, having someone flirt with you, and you get to, like, flirt with someone, and you have that excitement of, like, waiting for a text. And it's, like, so fun because you're
never take me back.
I know. The thrill of having a crush, though. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
The thrill of posting a little thrap on your Instagram story, hoping that one person sees it. Like, let's be real. We've all been there. We've all been there. I'm calling every single one of you out. We've
all been there. I'm calling all of you out. That's what she's doing.
We've all done it.
Yeah, okay. We've all done it.
I've found, like, a common theme. Like, it's always...
Like, from your experience?
From my experience.
Okay.
I've, like, seen a common theme of, like, when you start to talk to someone, you see the interest in them. They're answering within hours. It's, like, consistent communication, you know? Okay. They seem interested. And then all of a sudden, a random day comes. It's
cold turkey.
Yeah, it's cold turkey. Like, they are not reaching out. They left you undelivered, left you unread.
Because the love bomber got tired. The love bomber
really
gave all his...
a mix of
everything
love
he
bombing
could.
And also breadcrumbing. Like, where they feel like they can give you just enough to grab your attention, like hook you. Hook, line, and sinker. I'm going to get her interested in me, and I'm going to get her, like, I'm going to mess with her head a little bit. And, like, it's psychological warfare because suddenly you're thinking about this person. You're like, oh my God, when are they going to text me?
Yeah, you're, like, waiting.
You're waiting.
It also is, like,
And
when they do reach out, you feel, like, content. Like, yes, they reached out.
You reached out. If you're bored 1 second, you can just find someone new the next.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad, though. Like, you never see something through enough to know if that could have been good for you. Or, like, that could have been your person. Obviously not, because your person would never do that to you.
Right.
Like, they would never just, like, leave you in the cold. But I don't know.
I think I know something. I think that when they do that, it's because they have been wanting something from you. And because maybe you won't give it to them, or you haven't given it to them, they're like, okay, I'm going to find it elsewhere. Yeah. And then they got it instantly. Or maybe they got it just... it's less work. Right? So it was less work.
Damn.
It was
I'm literally, like, thinking. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it was, like, less work for them. And so that's why. And then when that's over with, they're like, oh, wait, let me go back to this person. Why? Because they don't want to be alone. On the back burner. I'm not trying to, like, generalize, because I know really good guys, too.
We've seen really great examples of men.
Yeah, like, they're really great, really emotionally available. But then the guys that I find myself talking to, I find that I'm like, sometimes I just think I'm not enough, and then maybe I think it's because I'm not giving enough, and then they're like, no, bye. And that's what it is. I think that they just don't want to, like,
could be,
they don't want to, like, crack.
For sure.
I was gonna say crack me open, but maybe they do.
I think it's true, though, that, like, men have a harder time opening up to people, or, like, feeling vulnerable, and, like, feeling like they're allowed to express their emotions. And I don't know where that stems from. I don't know if it's just because, like, from childhood, we, like, girls, we are natural, like, feelers.
Okay, but here's the thing. I'm gonna challenge you. I'll see videos on social media, and it's like guys, like, when I get a text from her, whatever, and it's like, like, he freaks out, whatever, and then he's like, so cool. Like, he plays it really cool, very nonchalant. And I'm like, why are we like that? Why are we like that we are so, like, cool, you know, and, like, very, like, casual and very nonchalant, and, like, then that kind of confuses me, because I'm like, wait, does he like me? Exactly. Does he not like me?
I think I wear most of my emotions on my sleeve, and if I'm excited about something, I show it. Or if I'm feeling a little snarky and sarcastic, that's just how I am, and, like, that is, like, my true how I feel.
I think also for me,
it's like my playful side.
I think that's, like, true for you. I think that's very true for you. I think for me, the way that I show that I like you before I can actually tell you, which, by the way, I do say it with my chest. Exactly. But I think it goes in, like, my energy. Like, I'm answering you. Yeah. I pick up. I, want to hang out with you or whatever. Like, it's like,
True. You show it in your actions, at least, like, communication wise.
I don't know. I think I am.
You can tell. I think you can tell. With us, at least, like, you can kind of pick up.
Do you get, like, nervous when you like someone?
Well,
or you get more confident? Because some people get more confident.
No, that's
like
kind
more
of
confident with the person.
I don't think I get more confident.
I get like
yeah, I don't think I get more
wait,
confident.
what? Like, girl, I told you, like, everything wipes out of my brain, and I'm like, what did you say? What? Girl, I can't. And that's why I get a little bit embarrassed.
I think I get really nervous. But to be honest, I don't really know, because I think in any sense, like, even if I don't really like you, I'm still gonna get nervous kind of speaking to you if I don't know you that well.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I still get kind of anxious, or like if you get a random call and like you don't even know this, like you've never spoken to this person and you're like, oh my god, it's like the first FaceTime or like a first phone call, like that makes me really nervous. I don't know what it is about.
Do you like phone calls or FaceTime's better?
Neither. Like, don't hit me up. Don't ever hit me up. Like, I'm gonna have a heart attack on the spot. What am I supposed to do with this information? Like,
answer.
No, but that's like so scary.
No, I know.
A phone call and a FaceTime? Like, you think you can just FaceTime me at a random moment? Hell no. Like, what if I'm in bed?
It needs to be like
skincare.
It needs to be scheduled.
Yeah, I'm
the type of girl you need to schedule. I can't do the random calls anymore. That shit is not for me. It's only for like my friends. Mm-hmm. And the random FaceTimes for my friends. Maybe. Shout out to that one person who like desensitized me to phone calls. Yeah. Because now I don't give a fuck.
True.
I'm traumatized that I don't give a fuck.
I don't think I've been through enough phone calls yet to desensitize myself to the fear of getting a phone call. Because I don't know, it's so scary to me. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what do you want from me?
Speaking of fears, can we talk about the fear of like, since we're talking about emotions, the fear of like breaking down in front of someone or having to like express yourself and it comes out like, you know, I feel like sometimes when I try to express myself, I'll literally get like choked up. Yeah. And that's why I think sometimes I'm just like, let me just not say anything at all, because I'm going to start bawling.
I'm the same way.
No, I know. This is hard for me.
I will just not say I can't physically say how I'm feeling, even though I know in my mind and if you put a paper in front of me,
no, I write it down.
I can write it down perfectly, like exactly how I'm feeling, and then I'll let you read it. But it's so hard. Like, I can't for the life of me, if someone is sitting in front of me and they're like, but why do you feel that way? Like, just tell me why you feel this way.
I think it's because it's hard to accept for ourselves.
I'm like so shy about it.
I think it's hard to accept for ourselves, whether it was me coming to terms with like, oh my god, I like him, and then I'm have to say it in front of you, like, I like you.
It's so vulnerable.
Ooh, it's horrible. Or having to say like, I'm scared, or I just wish this was different, and whatever, and like having to say it in front of you. It's almost this weird thing of like, I have to come to terms with it now, and I have to say it out loud, and saying it out loud is like making it real, because before it was all just in my head.
So true.
And I can do whatever I want,
and like
with that.
Nobody else really knows,
right,
except you,
right.
And now it's like out.
Now it's out in the open, and it's real. But I'm a sensitive person. I'm such a feeler. I'm so like deep, I think. And I think my heart is just so big. And I'm an empath. I am.
For sure, yeah.
I don't know how many times I've cried on this podcast. Not that much, but like I think I have. I'm just a crier. And I think that I like, again, like it's very hard for me to hold my emotions. And I think that or hold back my emotions. And whenever I do, it's not easy for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I'm taking everything. It's like everything inside of me to
express how you feel.
Right, but also if I'm not gonna say it, it's like I want to say it so badly, but I just can't.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
For whatever reason of I'm scared that you're gonna judge me, this is embarrassing, I've never said this before, whatever it is, like it literally will, like I have to hold myself together.
So tough. Yeah. I had learned that about myself as well, where anytime I would try to say something that was like, even if it was like normal and someone's just trying to have a conversation with you and they're just want to like see where you're coming from, I physically couldn't get words out without feeling like I was gonna break down and cry. And it would happen every time. Like, anytime I felt something and I needed to like express that, I never would until I like would get the courage and I was like, okay, I can do this. Like, it's not that serious. But I would always put myself in the other person's position as well, and I would just like feel bad, and I would think like, what if this person, like, what if I tell them this and then they respond in a way that I'm like
the fear,
not comfortable, like it's awkward after. So much anxiety about like what the response would be.
Yeah.
or how the other person would take it, or if they would think I'm weird for like expressing something. We're getting better. I think, I mean, I don't think I've been in a position lately to like see if that growth has changed, or if like I shy away from it as much.
Do you think it would be different though, since you already went through it? Do you think that you'd be like, okay, it wasn't that bad, or maybe it's not as difficult as I assumed?
I think I would be slightly better, because I think I was so shut off. Like I would physically like not be able to even say words. Like even if I was upset about something, like God forbid I bring it up, like I would never. And I think I'm in such a different place, like even like
I agree,
mentally and emotionally, that I think I would be able to at least express like things that I don't feel comfortable with. For sure it would give me a little bit of anxiety where I would have to plan it ahead of time.
I think that most people are like that. I think that's a very normal thing, is that people get a little bit nervous about bringing it up, especially if it's new. But I think that's growth, girl. That's growth.
It's growth. And I also feel like even if you do cry, that is still how you're processing your emotions. Like you're allowed to cry and feel it, and acknowledge that,
where
and
my criers
have the other person acknowledge that too. Like I don't know why it's seen as such an awkward thing. Like sometimes you start crying in front of someone and you're like, oh my god, I'm so sorry for crying. Like you feel the need to apologize for crying, when it's like such a human thing. Like we all have cried, even if like it's in private and you feel like nobody like we should feel,
we
like
just feel it,
to just like feel it. That's how you feel in the moment. You're crying over something sentimental, something beautiful, something heartbreaking, something really sad. Tears are gonna come. That's how you're processing it. Like let's hold space for that.
No, I know.
Let's hold space.
No, I was literally about to bring up how people like make fun of people that cry all the time, and I don't understand why. Or
the Wicked press tour,
literally the Wicked press tour. Let's talk about the Wicked press tour, because we were such big fans of the Wicked press tour. Like thank God for that content. Like we were surviving on that, literally.
Like that was a time.
And Cailyn and I would constantly send each other videos, like even edits back and forth of Ariana and Cynthia. And the amount of comments that just like dragged them because of their tears, because they were holding hands, because they would cry when they looked at each other. Me and Cailyn never fathomed it. We could never wrap our head, like literally we still can't wrap our heads around.
It's so hard to try to understand why people see the like, I don't know if they see it as like a weakness, or like this is not something to be crying about, right? Maybe it's fake that they think that. I just don't understand where that viewpoint comes from. They were crying over something that's like so like life-changing to them. Like this is something that they were going through together,
for both of them. And
I don't know why people like saw them crying in every interview and was like, this movie has nothing to be so emotional about. Like what could they possibly be crying about?
The people that said that are the same people that literally sobbed their eyes out during the Ozdust scene. Sobbed.
Yeah, as if their asses weren't in those theaters on release day, crying over that Ozdust ballroom scene.
Who are you to judge how someone processes and what they feel, what that process or that movie, how it healed them, what it did for them. It brought them together. We bring it up because there was so much discourse around them showing their emotions, and I'm like, oh my god, if I was on this movie, I'd be done. I'd be canceled.
Literally.
Because I'd be crying every single day. I'd be crying on set. I'd be crying in the interviews. And I see a little girl dressed as me and I'm like, I'm done.
Also, have y'all never been in like a really beautiful friendship where you just like feel connected and feel seen, and like,
and you're proud for the other person.
You're witnessing this like whole ass dream coming to life. People might be triggered by something like personally, like they see someone else doing something that maybe they're not used to seeing or doing often. Like maybe they're just not natural criers, or they don't respond to things in that way, so they're like, this is odd, and it becomes uncomfortable for people. Which, why? When I watch movies, there is nothing more satisfying to me than watching a movie and crying. I love a good
just crying
movie
because of it.
I love
just crying because of it. I was literally watching The Last Song, and I didn't think I was gonna cry because I've watched that movie so many times. But the little brother got me. The little brother crying after his dad.
Good.
Yeah, I just couldn't take it. I was like, oh, here come the waterworks. Like, I'm crying.
Did it not feel good? It was like rejuvenating.
What I felt was like, oh my God, I'm such an empath. Like, I really am. Because even for Ariana and Cynthia, I cried every single time I saw their interviews.
No, same.
I cried every single time. I was so happy for them, and I understood where they were coming from. Like, no pun intended, but the gravity of the situation, I completely understand. I'm with them.
I am too.
I just hate that people are so, like, trying to, like, desensitize ourselves from it. From feeling, from loving, from showing pain, showing your, you know, that you're in love, showing that you have a crush. Right.
Why are we so hardened and like cut off to experiencing emotions? I don't understand.
If I can't show it, I can't get hurt. Like, I don't know. I think that's what it is.
That's what it is. So many people just feel like they just don't want to get hurt, period. So they're not going to even give themselves the opportunity to open up to someone or feel, or God forbid, admit to feeling something for someone. They just won't even allow themselves that. So they're like, yeah, I gotta stay away.
I hope that when people meet someone that kind of changes that for them, they actually allow themselves to open up. Because I think I will.
About that.
Oh.
No, because the thing is, I don't think they ever learn.
Oh.
I don't think they ever
You know
learn.
that background noise that's like, ooh. Like another one. That's what that was giving. Like, if I meet someone that I'm just like, wow, I really do like you, I'm gonna go into it just
for
like,
sure,
obviously with the complete intention of like, I want to see this through.
Yeah, and showing
even
up
if it's short term. Like, I mean, one date, that is like my short term. Like, that's okay. Like, even if it's just one date, I want to go into it like fully being myself and not closed off.
You can't like teach them from one day to the next to just want to show up for you or like be emotionally present. Like, tell me everything. And like,
I think it'll happen for the right person. Unfortunately, like that just has, it's the thing. It's the truth that it's going to be just that person for them.
Unfortunately, there's someone out there.
There's someone out there. It isn't you. It ain't me, babe. Do you want to play Where Are Our Husbands?
Where Are Our Husbands Today?
Let's play
Where Are Our Husbands Today? I have a story already for you.
Oh my.
It popped into my head like this.
No way.
No, it actually popped into my head like
no freaking way. Then you have to go first.
Okay.
Oh, wait. What,
for context.
Our new listeners. Yeah. For context.
Every few episodes, we should just do this.
Oh, yeah.
And see if the vibe changes.
Yeah,
because it changes every time.
Every time it's a different guy. Yeah,
different guy, different
occupation.
Scenario,
Yeah. All right. Where Are Our Husbands? It's a game Cailyn and I play. We started it a really long time ago because we're just romantic and we're always like, where are our husbands at? And we sort of just guess for each other.
That feeling. I know y'all have like sat down with your friends and are like,
you
where's
either
our man?
you
like,
think about where they're at, you manifest them. So we're kind of like manifesting, and also it's just funny to play with your friends of like what they're imagining that your future husband is doing right now.
Your future husband right now is at the movie theater.
What?
But he's Sunday? Like on a solo date. Yeah, he's on a solo date.
Oh my
he's
God,
not on a
so
date.
Cute. Look at him going to the movies alone.
Literally alone. He has like his candies, but he like snuck them in. Like he brought his own candy. He's wearing a hoodie and he like stuffed his, I don't know what candy, but like he stuffed it with like candy and snacks and all that. And I don't know what movie he's watching right now. I don't know. He's just on a solo movie theater date. He lives alone.
I love that.
He's gonna go back home. He's gonna have himself a dinner by himself, put on a show that he watches, and that's what he's up to tonight. He's not getting up to mischief tonight.
Look at him.
He's a good, well-natured man.
Look at my husband.
He's not even
solo. That's what I like to hear.
Exactly.
Solo, lives alone. I love my independent man. Thank you. All right, where is your husband? Okay, let's think really quick.
Channel him.
I'm literally sending a signal out, and I want him to receive it fully. I saw an ocean for some reason. Maybe he was at the beach today.
Okay.
He kind of got a little sunburnt. He has like really good abs. Like for some reason I just see like abs, but he's like a little skinny, but he has abs for sure. I see them. He went home and I think that he had dinner again. I see him having dinner with his family. He has one sister. He sat next to the sister at dinner for some reason.
So specific.
Like I see his parents across from him and then the sister next to him. He wore like a white polo.
Ooh.
And he had like seafood for dinner. So he probably had dinner by the ocean or something. I don't know. So I'm seeing ocean. I see a family dinner.
I literally want in on this.
And I think he went home and he played video games like in his like pants, not his underwear, like just like shorts, no t-shirt.
Not his underwear.
I just see him with the headphones for some reason, maybe playing video games. And then he I just see him like going to bed, like chill, like just like a Sunday where it's like, I didn't work today, so I just got to like go to the beach, hang out with my family.
We miss our husbands, our future husbands.
No, already. I know, they're so young right now.
They're so young and lively.
They're living life.
They're just like looking for us out there.
No, I know, they're fully living life, and God knows where they're at.
They're yearning for us as much as we are.
I know. They're like, where's she at? Where's she at? I'm like, I'm gonna change your life. Don't even worry about it. Just wait for me, babe. How to be emotionally available. If you guys are wondering what I will be doing, 2 things that I think you should do, and I'm gonna add a third, but this was like 2 things that I saw on the internet. The first one is waking up every day and just coming to terms with how you feel that day, or even at the end of the day being like, I feel good, or I feel bad, or let's say you're going somewhere and you're like, I'm afraid. Like, coming to terms with how you feel, because a lot of times that you're like emotionally unavailable, it's because you just don't know what you're feeling, and you can't like,
so true, you
kind of just want to ignore it, so you're like stuffing all your feelings down. But what you have to do is like bring them up to the surface.
Them too. Like, just being able to say
how you're feeling.
I'm a little scared right now.
Also, admitting it to another person can really help. On to my second thing is opening up to someone about something. It can be your best friend, it can be your sister, it can be literally anyone. And just telling them about something. Maybe it's something you're scared of. Maybe it's something that you were afraid of, like, you know, something that held you back. Maybe it's something that you're really excited about or proud of, or that made you really happy. Whatever emotion, you know, it doesn't really matter. Tell them. And again, the more you do something, the more you'll get used to it.
Yeah, so true.
So I think that I'm going to try to put both of those into practice. This is a little bit easier said than done, but try not to live in fear. Like, don't let it control you, and allow yourself to be vulnerable. Like, don't think I can't be who I am and I can't say what I want because I'm scared of how it'll make me look. So many of us are scared of looking weak and how the other person will perceive us because we're crying or we're feeling like, oh my God, I'm in this position.
But you'd be so surprised at how open some people are, and like, so many people don't actually see it as an awkward situation. Like, even if you express something that you think is like terrifying and you're like, nobody's gonna understand. Like, nobody's gonna understand this. Yeah. You'd be so surprised at how open and like comfortable people feel, and they're like, yeah. Because
just when you think, am I being open enough for others? Are you also being like inviting and like non-judgmental?
Like, it goes both ways.
It goes both ways. So I would just take time to self-reflect, as we've both done.
Also, like, you would make room for people who are emotionally available if you yourself, like, you feel like you can tell people things. That gives people the comfortability to be open and honest with you.
It can be very scary, and it can also be very shameful to not be emotionally available. I think that was something that I was like very ashamed of. I was like, wow, I preach so much on this podcast about being one with your feelings and being open and all that stuff. And I think that you should just remind yourself that it's completely okay and completely normal to grow. And like, yeah, that was a version of me that was true, that I was emotionally unavailable. But the person I am now and I choose to be today, she's ready to open up. She's accepting these feelings. Yeah. And just don't let that weigh you down.
Yeah, don't trap yourself into like past versions of yourself and think that that's the only way that you'll ever be.
Yeah, I heard this thing that was like, today, oh my God, how does it go? It's like, today you were the furthest from your past or something like that. And you can choose to change every single day. So don't let past shame or guilt over not being emotionally available hold you back.
True.
You can always wake up and be like, I'm choosing to be this way, and this is a new version of me.
Even sometimes, like, you'll think about past versions of yourself and you'll feel guilty, or like,
you feel I do that all the time.
There's probably someone out there who has this idea of you that's the only version that they'll probably see you in. I wish that wasn't the only thing that you saw me as, because even though I had like grace for myself back then for any situation that I was probably not as mature in or emotionally present for, at least now I'm like, I feel it in myself. Like, I feel a growth, I feel progress,
and that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Like, you don't need to do it for anyone but yourself. Nobody else's like validation or them saying like, I see this different version of you matters, right? Because you're the one that goes through life like fully with yourself, and you know like the difference between who you were back then and who you are now.
In order to grow, you have to want it, and you have to be like living by it. Yeah, you have to go through it. I just wanted to say, for people that maybe like, oh God, they're so annoying or they feel too much, we literally were like, pull up the lyric by Ariana herself. She says, I would rather feel everything than nothing. That's that.
Every time.
And that's so true. Hopefully you've by this point already subscribed and followed Full-Time Daughter.
So smooth.
Because we literally love to have you guys on here, and we love to talk to you, and we hopefully continue to do this. And if you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to subscribe for more, and make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Full-Time Daughter Pod, because we post some fun stuff, and it's just a cool way to see like a different side of us, I guess, like more of our everyday
really
life.
Fun, exciting stuff coming. We think it's fun and exciting stuff.
I think it's fun and exciting.
I think so.
And that's all we're gonna say for now.
Also, be sure to follow, rate, and review the podcast. Reviews really help us, and we just love reading them. I think they're so cute and so fun. Tag us in your stories if you're listening.
Yes, please.
On Instagram. We love to see where you're listening from. And also,
were you gonna say book club?
Well, no. I was gonna say, but book club too, that is coming.
Yeah, book club. Watch out for a video. Turn your notifications on or whatever. Like, videos coming out soon. You're welcome. We
want to hear from you guys. We want this to be a little more interactive, where we can hear some of your stories or questions. If you have like a specific request for us to talk about, or you want to hear advice about something specific, or if you just want to tell us some tea, like a situation that you need either our opinions like weighed in on, or you just want to say something and get it off your chest and have us react to it.
Feel free to comment on this episode, or if you want it
in the DMs.
Feel free to DM us. Okay,
like we just want to make this more interactive, and we want to make like kind of like an advice episode, story time episode, where
like a little segment, if you will. I think it'd be really fun. So if you have any questions, story times, anything you want to know,
we're always here.
Let us know, comment, DM us. We're here, and hopefully we can make a little episode out of it. All right,
for now, we'll see you next week, because
it's a full-time job at this point.
Yep,
look at that. We did that.
we did that.
All right, bye guys. We'll see you next week.
So cute.